Now, people in Denver typically used to driving in the snow. They can handle it pretty good. In the South, it's a whole new world.
It is, but as we know, sometimes you got to go out there, right? And let's make sure you get safe when you get behind the wheel. So our car coach is with us this morning, Lauren Fix, to fix us up before we get on the roads. Lauren, what do you want to say to the people in the Southeast that may have not driven in snow in, let's say, 600, 700, 800 days?
Yeah, well, that is concerning because this is when it can be very, very dangerous. Because if you're really, really uncomfortable and you really don't have to be anywhere, you're probably better off staying home. Because you have to remember, there is nothing between the tire and the roadway when you're thinking about ice. And ice happens there every once in a while in the lower end of the country, whether you're in Dallas or in Atlanta, and it does happen. And everyone I talk to who lives in the south of the country gets very, very upset. And I always remind them, I don't care if you're driving a little teeny Mini Cooper or a big truck, it doesn't make a difference. There's nothing between the tires and the roadway. So if you really have to be somewhere, you're a nurse, you have to get to work, you got to get to the airport, whatever it is, you need to look at the roadway from a different perspective. The road is going to be iced over, but the side of the road may have that crunchy stuff and a little snow maybe. You want to see if you can get the two tires into the grit, essentially, if you're forced to drive, but you have to go very, very slow.
So a lot of people in the South, we have this huge snowstorm that's coming on Saturday. They might think, do I need to put chains on? Do I need to change my tires ahead of time? Do people in the South need to worry about that?
Well, I wouldn't purchase chains. First off, a lot of states don't allow for that, especially if you're in, like, I don't know, anywhere down, even Georgia, I've been down there, they don't want you to put chains on, it destroys the roadways. So if you really don't have to be out, like I said, don't go out. If you are going to go out, you have to go out, or you're stuck outside. Here's some things I recommend. One, if you can get out in the roadways and the roads are clear, but there's a lot of ice, make sure to watch those sidewalks when you get out. I have done this myself. You think everything's great and you get into the parking lot and you open the door and you step out and you're right down on the ground. So that could take you to the hospital. It could be very dangerous. So if you're thinking about going out, try to look for a pair of boots that gives you grip, because there's going to be no grip on the roadway. If the roads are kind of clear, get a good pair of sunglasses, because the glare off the ice is also going to be very blinding.
Lauren, here's one for you. Here's one for you. Okay, we get a foot of snow in some spot in North Carolina or Virginia. You get out, you do a quick brush of your windshield, and you start driving around on the highway. All that snow on your roof comes off and causes an accident behind you. Who's responsible?
You're responsible.
Yes.
You are. Yes, you are. And there are a lot of states that are ticketing for, even Virginia. I know that someone got ticketed for driving around with a couple inches of snow on the roof of your car, or your back window even. Or if it covers your taillights, you are responsible for your vehicle. And so this is a really, really important thing to do. Buy a snow brush, and not only those cheap ones that come on a piece of wood that you can break. Get a really good snow brush at your local auto parts store or a mass merchandiser, an ice scraper, and some hand warmers and foot warmers, because if you do get stuck in the snow, you want to keep yourself warm.
All right, good. See, I knew we'd get a great answer from her. Thank you, darling. We appreciate that.
Jeff.
Well, she's totally my girl crush. So Lauren Fix, you can
just great.
also hit her up on Twitter if you want to ask her some more questions.